Google, restart video.
Hey everyone, Scott Innes, voice actor, Hollywood actor, movie star. Don't believe all that. I'm a legend in my own mind. Hey, you know me better as the voice of some of the most popular cartoon characters in the world. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, Scrappy-Dappy-Doo, Puppy Power, like and Shaggy too. And you've got the Sullivan Project podcast. It's coming at you right now.
Hey Google, stop. Hey Google, turn your volume to 50%. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 1:57 p.m.
Hey Google, turn your volume to 50%. This thing is not cooperating today. It still ain't doing it. What's up, everyone? This is the Sullivan Project podcast. I'm your host, Harold Sullivan. Yeah, I couldn't get it to play the freaking opening for the thing for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And saying the value, whatever, I don't know what it means. This Google thing. I think I'm just wearing it out, listening to hours and hours of audio stuff. In case y'all don't know, I'm blind. It's in June here. It'll be 2 years. But I was born disabled. I have autoimmune disease, and I'm in my mid 40s now, and I'm still going by the grace of God only. You know, I mean, you can't explain it any other way, and you can't put that on. You can't make that. You can't put it on paper. You can't have it make sense on paper. You know. So if you want to contact the show, you can check us out on YouTube. That's Harold Sullivan 78. TikTok is Harold Sullivan 78, and Facebook Harold Sullivan period 35. And if you want to be a guest, or you have we have guests sometimes. If you have stuff you want us to talk about, or if whatever comments, anything. Also, you can call the show 724-513-1472. The Sullivan Project podcast. You can leave a message. Uh, I may answer. We'll get back to you. So, everyone has a story. You can't judge a book by its cover. So that's what we're all about here. Just come on, talk about anything: metaphysical, supernatural, spiritual, paranormal, and then just stuff like everyday movies and music and entertainment, whatever. Let's just do this. You know what I'm saying? So so the last couple audio books here, let's see, I listened to Christmas Carol, Charles Dickens. I kind of wanted to hear about that one. Of course, I've seen the movies, Scrooge, and let's talk about them first of all. That's the old 2 o'clock alarm going off, like that song. What was that 6 o'clock alarm would never ring? Was it 6 o'clock? I don't know. And the Monkees song, the Monkees, the band. Check them out if you guys don't know who they are. If y'all don't remember, uh, the Monkees. They're an American band back in what was that, the '60s, around the time as the Beatles. But what was I saying? Charles Dickens. Yeah, he wrote about there was ghosts in Christmas Carol, future, past, ghost of future, ghost of past, ghost of present, whatever. And so I was kind of interested because well, let's talk about how many movies there were first. There was a Christmas Carol. There was a couple of them, and then there was a Scrooge one. Most of them were called Scrooge or Scrooged. Bill Murray was in one. It was pretty funny. Check that out if you're a fan of him. I think it was called Scrooged with a D on the end. Uh, but yeah, the book is darker. It's just like I don't know why they haven't made a movie like that. It wasn't like a Disney, which a lot of Disney stuff and other things, fairy tales they're dumbed down and they're made more for kids because I guess it's adults want with fairy tales, right? But they're mostly they're darker and just creepier. And so I'm wondering why they didn't do a movie like the book. I mean, they're similar, but they're just not. They don't capture it somehow. It's just way twisted, creepier. This guy just like he really wants to repent by the end of this. It's not funny, and the ghosts are not funny looking. The way they describe them. So, and then Houdini. Who doesn't love Houdini? I didn't realize how many times the word Houdini is used to explain something or an adjective. Oh my goodness! Just think about it. Just do that right now. Here's a little homework, quote unquote. and I hated homework in school. But just remember or write down how many times you hear or use the word Houdini in the next like a little bit of time. I don't know, a week or two or a couple of weeks, or just remember it in your mind. But Houdini, yeah, he did so much, and you know what? He wasn't even that good of a magician. But he was good at representing it, fooling people, and just putting all these things together, putting on a show. And there's even myth about how he died. There's so many myths that most people don't know. He did not do. He didn't die doing the water torture, or any experiment. Any. He didn't do a magical. I forgot the word, but yeah, he didn't do it. He wasn't any of that stuff. It was after. There's actually a couple different. You know. He had a thing going on. Okay. Oh, we're getting an eBay email coming in. Thank God for technology. Cortano. I ain't gonna shut it up. Cortano. Boy. But yeah. So the Houdini. Yeah. He had these things, these bets going on. I guess his whole life, where he would bet people that they couldn't do certain things. You know. And one of them was, if I get this thing to stop, it just reads out the whole, and it won't stop when I tell it. When I speak, it's supposed to stop. Cortana. See, Cortana. Nothing. But then it talks to itself, and that's just the narrator. It's the Cortana's not even listening to me right now. The narrator just freaking whatever. It's reading the whole, every little letter of the link. I guess that's just ridiculous. Jesus, that's no wonder I can't sleep. This thing goes off all night reading the email. But who's gonna read them to me, right? So anyway, Houdini had these bets his whole life. People couldn't do this, this, and this. So he had one go where people couldn't punch him, like he couldn't go down if you punched him in the stomach. So that's basically how he died. But it was he had an appendicitis that had ruptured, and he had a bad appendicitis, and he didn't want to go to the hospital. And these dudes, came up, and the one dude said, "Hey, what about that bet?" Punched him in the stomach a few times, and that was it. But he died because he refused to go to the hospital because the dude punched him in the stomach and he went down. But the cause of the pain and the injury was the appendicitis. It was not the punch. It was the embarrassment of him going down and not going to the hospital. That even at that time they could have saved him. So that's what happened with Houdini. So there's a couple books. I'm actually doing the Lost Scriptures now, the Bible, which is 41 hours of audio. And I went through Enoch, which is the most popular one. I have it separate, but it's a different audio book. My hips still bother me, and today it's cool out and freaking bad weather, like just yucky. And then I don't have the heater on right now because I want to record, and I don't want to have it's this thing don't pick up very good audio as it is. And then plus there's no heat in the house because the chimney caved in, and we can't run it. We have to move out. So, but God got me here. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going. 45 years almost. 78 I was born. Yeah. Through all this, can't walk, can't dress myself, can barely feed myself. I'm blind now, but I'm happy to be here every day. Amen. So yeah, Enoch was the first one of most popular. He's in the Bible, but they cut out his book. The Bible has 14 books missing at least, and I don't know why. But when you listen to it, it puts the pieces together. And so, and I mean, I'm just listening to it just to listen to them. You know what I'm saying? But the Bible is still the book of the Bible. But at one time, a lot of these were candid. So then there's also the second one was Jubilee, which is also mentioned in the Bible, and then the third one is Book of Jasher, which is also mentioned in the Bible. Uh, Side note: I had Gospel of Mary and Book of Adam and Eve separately, and maybe they'll be in this collection as well, but not so far. So things that are in this, like Enoch, for instance, has archangels, has about the archangels coming down and changing or breeding with man, woman slash whatever. They were supposed to come to teach, and they did stuff, and they had half breeds, which they call giants and Nephilims. There's three or four different names, and they mention some in the Bible, but they don't explain. So, and then Enoch was basically the scribe of God, who got taken up to heaven. He saw everything from like pretty much ever, and he described it in different ways, and he foretold, Adam, Eve, all the ark, everything, just but different way. But you could tell it's neat because the Bible, these stories are written by different people, but they're telling the same stories. They all had the same prophecies, or they all were around at the same time and witnessed the same things, which gives them lots of validation. Because, I mean, on one hand, I guess they didn't want to repeat things over and over in the Bible, but on another hand, there are parts in here that they just cut out because they just don't want you to know. So Jubilee is basically a year, like time, how they counted. So everything in it is, based around that, and like how you're supposed to work 6 days and not on the seventh day. You're supposed to rest. That's the Sabbath day. And then what else here? Now I'm on Yasher, which adds a lot to Noah's story about how God told him about the boat, and about getting the people on the boat. What else? Also, who else? In Jubilee, there was more, or yeah, sure. One of them had more about Cain and Abel, and how there was a whole story there about that, not just where Cain came up and slew Abel. There was way more that went on between the two, and God speaking to them and stuff. It's pretty neat. So, and I just like it. I mean, and I feel it to be true, and you just know inside. You don't know, is what they call it on We're All Psychic. Check that out. I've been on there a few times. I'm trying to get on there soon again. I was on an episode, Harold's interview called The Vessel. Also, they did a Sagittarius horoscope, astrology. They called me in because I'm Sagittarius. So they said, hey, you want to come on and do that? So that's pretty cool. But yeah, if you want to be on the podcast, hit me up. It's Harold Sullivan 78 on YouTube, Harold Sullivan 78 on TikTok, and then Harold Sullivan period 35 on Facebook. Let's see what else we got here. Hey Google, what did I want you to remember?
Here's what you told me. First, silhouette magical thinking walk-ins watchers. Second, we are forever.
Okay.
Third, lost scriptures Christmas carol redeeming.
Yeah, we are forever is Sullyism I came up with a while back. So I got a bunch of other ones. Go check out the other podcasts. Also, I just had DJ Calls from Supernatural, and the new guy Road Trip, a bunch of other movies. He just did the last. He had some best answers out of Enter. Well, I'm not going to judge anybody, but he had some really good answers to questions, and he did one of the best interviews uh, I've thought, as far as just deepness and just different ideas, and they kind of relate to mine. And that was the podcast 41, I believe. So check that out. And he mentioned something about magical thinking. But we're going to talk about the Watchers. Yeah, that's something else that's in Enoch. Basically, it's the angels that came down, but he calls them Watchers, and there's seven luminaries. There's just so many different things. It's pretty deep, like I said. And as he describes the alien, or well, they could be aliens. If you go by the ancient aliens, the same theory, okay? Ancient aliens supposedly came and they modified us to make us who we are, because our DNA has one more chromosome or one less something than other animals and whatnot, which gives us the ability to communicate. And without that have been done, we would be dumb. And it's just like in the Bible, don't eat from the tree of knowledge, you'll die, but they became smart. But the scientists say that whatever happened to our DNA was done on purpose. It didn't just happen. Something altered us. But that's the alien deal, which it could all be, interpreted that way. But yeah, the Watchers supposedly came down, and they were the angels. They were Watchers, and they had giant penises. It's like horses. That's the way it's described in Enoch. It's like, oh my God. But I'm sure it's just metaphorically. But they messed with the women, and the men messed with. There was women angels and men angels, but most were referred to as men. So that's just so all that's in there. But yeah, check them out, Book of Enoch. What else here do we have going on as far as hey Google, what did I want you to? Oh, hey Google, stop. Oh, silhouette. Okay. Now, I hadn't gotten any for a while. Last time I was talking about them water droplets I was seeing in my third eye. This has to do with psychic stuff and all that. So now I was sometimes just when I'm just relaxed at the right moment, even with my eyes open, I can see like it's like somebody literally is putting visions in my head, like a 3D, like they're putting them in there or something. And sometimes they're just clear. Sometimes they're just things I can't see. Sometimes they come into focus, and I can actually. It's like I'm watching a movie, but it's in my mind. It's nuts. And then the other day, I got to where okay, I'm seeing colors now. This is something I've been seeing for a while, but this was like bluish, and it almost looked like a head and the shoulders like a silhouette that started to take shape, and then it walked toward me in my mind's eye, and then was gone. And I was like, oh, because I was trying to see focus to see what it turned into, because usually I can see it'll be blobs like going around, or like even like a heart shape, or just a simple geometric shape. But then sometimes I'll see something like freaking. One time I saw Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, and that literally just like a cartoon going by in my mind, like, and then it could be people, like it's just all kinds of stuff. So, walk-ins, that's something. Hold on, let me see. Hey Google, what time is it?
It's 2:12.
Time flies when you're having fun. Walk-ins is something I never heard before, and I'm kind of a little. I can't wrap around it, but it's a little deep. But I heard about it on one of these podcasts I listened to, another psychic podcast, where it talks about reincarnation and all that, which I believe in that because I know I've been here before. I've had past lives, and I also have spirit guides with me that have been with me for multiple lives, which is just fascinating. You know, check it out if you want to talk about that. Hit me up if you want to check out more podcasts. Listen to my podcast. A lot of this stuff is just deep and spiritual. It will help you on your path and level up. And when you get to the next, when you kind of come back, you'll do different things. It's all about love and learning. You know, teaching. It's like a school being here. But walk-ins is basically you can check out and be gone, and someone else can check into your body and live the rest of your life. So think about this: have you ever known someone that completely just changed and or anything, or maybe they didn't just completely change, just little things about them, because you can't go into a body or something that's not familiar or similar, because it wouldn't be that obviously to disturb everyone else. So, and that kind of brings me back to Quantum Leap. Think about how much in Quantum Leap the show, just like that, how they had to act normal and whatever they're saying because he didn't want to, he had to still repeat history. It's just neat how I don't know if the writers did this on purpose, like that and the aura and just the time travel as far as like just what was it, past lives and record, all that stuff was like spiritual, and I don't know if they did it on purpose or if it just came out that way and made the show seem spiritual and metaphysical. But it's great, Quantum Leap. The remake show not as good, and I'm actually a part of the Quantum Leap podcast now. I'm a producer, so go check that out. And if you listen to the very end, you'll hear Harold Sullivan. So amen on that. I joined the team. I said, hey, I'm a huge fan. When I lost my sight, I actually went back and listened to all the episodes, all 5 seasons, in a short period, and I was like, wow, this show is so good that even without sight, I could keep up. I was very entertained. I was doing 3 or 4 or 5 episodes in a row, and I kept going back. I didn't fall asleep, even though I have sleep apnea. I was like, this is great. So Quantum Leap, I mean, that's rare. I don't even know any other show. It's hard for me to get into movies. Uh, but the more and more I'm blind, the more my other psychic things keep in. And we're all psychics, so you just have to listen. Uh, I can do movies and I can kind of figure out what's going on without seeing it. So that's great. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else that, if you're afraid, I mean, I was afraid too. Darkness hit me. I prayed to God to take my life one night. And he stopped my breathing like 20 times because like I said, I have sleep apnea, but I don't have the machine. I couldn't never wear it, and I've been dealing with it for like almost 15 years. Uh, I just sleep when I can, but one night I just couldn't. I was so depressed and that, and I just couldn't sleep, and I prayed God to take me, and then that's when I couldn't over and over. I kept basically dying and coming back, and I got the point, and it was like God really. He didn't. I didn't hear a voice, but He spoke to me, and I said, the rest of my life I'm gonna help people any way I can, and I'm gonna be positive, and it just all led to me doing the podcast, and you know what I'm saying. And like I said, I was scared in the dark, but all you need is a little bit of light. As long as you still got a little bit of flame going, you can reignite it. That's all you need is a spark, just a little spark. and a spark can ignite the sun. You know, think about that. So, my see how they go. Matthew 7:12. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. Very important. One of the most important things you should live by. If anything, that one. That's it. Also, Matthew, John 8:7. Let ye who be without sin cast the first stone. Because we ain't all perfect. Try not to judge people, but try to put it in a better way. Like if you learn something, try to put it in a way to help them learn as well and not judge them. It's very hard because people just take it as being judged too. I don't want to ever come off that way. I'm just trying to speak the truth one way, like right down the middle. And one way or another doesn't matter. Prove me right or wrong, I remain strong. And that's another Sullyism I've come up with. A couple days ago, I got one, forget to remember. That basically means you got to forget everything you learned, to forget what you know, to remember who you are, or where you came from and what you are. Think about that, you know. And yeah, we just had Greg on. He might be on again soon. I'm gonna talk to Chris soon, and we got some other guests lined up. Like I said, if you want to be on here, hit us up. You know, contact us 724-513-1472, the Sullivan Project Podcast, or we're on YouTube, Harold Sullivan 78, TikTok Harold Sullivan 78, and Facebook Harold Sullivan period 35. Sometimes I got guests on there. You know what I mean? I use that app called Cameo. I'm not supporting them, even though I pay, you know. But like I said, money don't mean nothing. I don't really have money, but I want to help, and I want to help uh, the Lord, or whatever, you know, whatever your higher power may be, the collective. I like to say, uh, I want to help people. So whatever I can do, and if it's a couple bucks to get a celebrity to give me his opinion on stuff that I think is important, something different, and have guests on the show. So sometimes I have celebrity guests. You know what I mean? I'm not rich, but they're entertaining. I think Spirit has led me to the right people to ask the right questions and whatnot. And we got D Wallace on there, and like we got some more supernatural from the TV shows. And we got a couple wrestlers that did some trailers. You know, a couple things coming up. So just little things, you know what I mean? Whatever we can do to support the project, the Sullivan Project podcast. So, hey Google, what time is it? We're about to end the podcast here.
It's 2:19 p.m.
Okay, we're about to get ready to go. This thing was weird earlier. It kept saying the value. I don't know. Sometimes it won't play my audio books. It's just getting crazy here. And I haven't slept much. I mean, I did get sleep last night, maybe the night before that, but I think that before that I didn't sleep for like 3 or 4 days straight. But I'm listening to books and audio books, and I'm through the Bible over halfway through the sixth time through the Bible now. So, and I'm still hearing, you know, things are registering, because it's just, you can't just, maybe some people can do a book and just have it registered, you know, all the way through, but there's so much in the Bible to take in, so many things to so many lessons to learn, so many things to, you know, and if people just took a couple of them and put them in their life, like praise always, no matter what. Don't just call God or your higher power or whatever when you need or want something. Just give thanks, period. Out of the blue, whatever. Show appreciation. You know what I mean? Like I said, like I like to say, he ain't Santa Claus. You know what I mean? Don't get sit on God's lap after stuff, or don't call your, just don't be calling your parents when you need something. You know, when you're out of money, it's like that. Don't do that. Do what you can. If you need it, God's there. He's going to help you no matter what. He's going to get you on your. He's on your side. He's going to be your strength. But don't just be begging and being asked for silly. Oh no, because material things. What is the verse? Do not. I forget how the verse is, but I'm gonna learn that one. Yeah, but do not make. You know, they don't get you into heaven. They don't make you happy, basically. So I appreciate y'all. We'll be back soon. You know, same bat time, same bat channel, whenever they might be. And remember, love is a choice. So is the hate.